Felix and Winston here, and imagine a stock so good the best investor in the world famously bought it. I'm not talking about Warren Buffett or any of the hedge fund lot. Nancy Pelosi, of course. We're talking Tempus AI, ticker symbol TEM. It is a precision medicine company. They use AI to analyze vast amounts of clinical, molecular, multimodal, whatever that is, data to support better healthcare decisions. And they offer products and services such as AI-enabled assistants, care pathway solutions, data analytics platforms, and all sorts of other stuff that serve physicians, pharma companies, and patients by how? What? Accelerating drug discovery. Yeah, so they predict treatments, they basically have all the data so you don't need to spend as much in trials and so on. How do they do it? They have connections with over 4,500 healthcare institutions and major electronic health record systems. And they have one of the largest proprietary data sets, exceeding, wait for it, 350 petabytes. That's a lot. I'm not sure what a peta is, but it's going to be a lot. And they use that to train the AI models and give you insiders if you're a researcher, a patient, or a drug manufacturer. They're in a very, very unique position. So it isn't just a hype stock. It is actually a stock that does something very, very extraordinary. So I'm going to walk you through the bull case here. I'm going to walk you through why, in my humble opinion, it isn't too late. I'm going to walk you through the super chart here. I'm going to show you where the institutional resistance is, what the latest news are, and everything else. And that's all in Trade Vision. But before we do that, I want to give you an offer that I've never given you before. And that is, we're going to review the portfolios of some of you who wish for your portfolios to be reviewed by us, give you some feedback on strategy and where you're going right and wrong and risks and better strategies and maybe how we could help you with that. And you can book a free call with my team at felixfriends.org/review. I'll put the link down below in the description as well. And yeah, you need to fill in a little bit of form. You need to tell us a little bit about your portfolio, otherwise we can't be doing any reviews. And we're going to actually give you a report and then hop on a call with you and walk you through it. And I'm doing this as a test because I want to see if that's a way to give people value and inspire you and help you make better decisions. And so we're making about 50 of those slots available. So don't linger. felixfriends.org/review because they'll probably go. Now, back to Tempus. The bull case here, it's unmatched leadership, basically, in data and AI for healthcare. Minimal competition. A very, very strong network driving more and more data into it. And as they just said on the earnings call, this is a quote, "We have not felt pressure from competitors in this space. We do not have competition in the data and AI space. When we lose a deal, we lose it because the buyer decides they don't want a product like ours yet, not because they go to a competitor." That's an extraordinary claim from management. And the platform's three product lines basically enhance each other. They monetize data in lots of different ways, and therefore they create a really, really good moat. Second thing I like, management is looking at long-term growth rather than short-term spikes. And a quote here from the earnings call is just, "I would rather be with a company that grows 25% for 10 years versus one that grows at 50% this year and 10% next year. We want and have sustained growth." That's a sign of a good business. And it might frustrate the heck out of short-term Wall Street loons. You know, they have a sort of 3-month horizon at best, but for people with a longer horizon, this could be interesting. Now, they're also expanding into new areas like rare diseases, pediatrics, and they have a very, very big pipeline. So how do they do it all? Well, they have this massive data set, and they've been running that for months on about 1,000 H200 GPUs, those are NVIDIA GPUs, and it just means they actually have a product. Most companies in this space are just saying, yeah, we bought some GPUs, but they haven't got the data. These guys actually have the data. And here's another quote from the earnings call. "I cannot see a world where people are like, no, I do not need that kind of data. I will just do it the old way." So this kind of combination of proprietary data, actual AI that works, market demand makes Tempus a very unique investment opportunity with some potential upside. Now, there's of course risk in this. Don't chuck all your money at it. That's also why we are looking at portfolio reviews to make sure people are a little bit more careful and cautious. But you might be forgiven for thinking, well, Felix, I like your little trade vision super chart, but basically this is too late, right? Should have bought down there at the bottom of the market. Now we're up here, whatever, 20% higher or something. Well, let me give you a bit of a different perspective on that. Where do you think the likelihood of a stock going up is? Is it at the top of the market or is it down here somewhere? Now, first of all, you never know the tops or the bottoms at the time. But generally speaking, when you are at an all-time high, you're looking for all-time highs, the likelihood the stock's going to go up is much, much greater than if you are dumping around somewhere down here. Counterintuitive, I know, but that's just the way it is. So what have we done? We've taken out this high. We've taken out that high. We've taken out this high and that high. There is only one high that remains, and that is from February or so this year, when the stock was briefly trading at about $92. What does it therefore mean? It means not a soul owns Tempus who's lost money. Well, except for maybe 3 people who are still holding it from there. But everybody else, the entire market, everybody else who's ever bought Tempus stock at any share price whatsoever, they're making money on it. And what does that remove? Sales pressure. People don't really sell stuff that goes up. They tend not to. They sell stuff that goes down, quite rightfully so, actually. So what are we looking at here? We're looking at a pretty sweet setup. Exactly where we are, to be honest with you. I'm not telling you to buy it. I'm just saying I think this is a great setup. We're seeing on the rally up here, and this is really, really important to look at, is when you have a rally like the one we're in, you want your volume to be strong. Volume is strong. What does that mean? Lots of new buyers, institutional money pouring in, and that's what drives these stocks higher. Now, at some point, it is undoubtedly going to come up and it's going to come back down because this is a stock that's very, very volatile. Don't expect it to go up in a straight line. If you expect that, don't buy it. How do you deal with that? Well, you can set a stop loss, but you need to be fairly generous on that. Now, what does that also therefore mean? You want to have a small position. There's not a large position in this, right? Also, keep abreast of the news of what's actually happening with this. You can see all the news inside Trade Vision here. We're trialing beta testing news notifications. That's going to come out very, very shortly to you. So for example, for my watch list, I've got news on the US general market and also on all the stocks here on my main watch lists, which means I get a push notification on my mobile phone that actually shows me, oh my God, something has just happened. Let me just see if I've got one on the screen here I can share with you. Like this one here, for example. I don't know if that focuses, but you see that little Microsoft one there, right? That's the sort of stuff that pops onto my phone for all the stocks that I want. You haven't got access to that yet, but if you join Trade Vision now, you will, and it'll be included in your deal, in your package. As you see, it's a very affordable subscription because we just want to make sure you guys have the data you actually need. You can also watch dark pools. You can see what institutions are trading every day. What are they buying? What are they selling? And all that kind of good stuff gives you lots and lots and lots of high value information there. So if you got some value out of this video, brilliant. Imagine the value if you actually had a one-on-one call with us and actually walk through your strategies and so on. So go to felixprehn.org/review. That's something we're not going to be doing all the time, by the way. This is a one-off. felixprehn.org/review. And I wish you tremendous success. All the best. Felix and Winston here, and the alarm bells are sounding a little louder today. And I want to walk you through that. I want to give you the actual data points, what to look for that indicates whether this bubble is about to burst or whether the party's going to keep going. Not a doom and gloom video. In fact, I'm going to round this off with actually 2 sectors and stocks that I actually like right now, but there is some concern here.